this video, I'm gonna teach you how to not make your sweep arpeggios so freaking boring. The problem with playing sweep arpeggios is once you learn how to do it, you have a tendency just to do that all the time, you know, because it sounds cool, and let's be honest, it takes a lot of talent and a lot of practice and dedication to get to the level to where you can sweep basically up and down the fretboard. Hey, I admire that, but the problem is it just becomes robotic and boring after a while. So I'm gonna show you some different ways you can kind of break the sweep arpeggio apart and unboringify it. I think I just made up a new cool word. Anyway, let's bring it in close and we're gonna learn some cool ways to make our sweep arpeggios sound cooler. Oh dude, I just realized how dusty my guitar is, so let me wipe this off real quick. Alright guys, so first I'm gonna teach you the basic pattern here. I'm gonna share the tablature, and this pattern right here, basically everything that we do is gonna be surrounded by this one pattern. So this is what it is. Alright, I'll go over that slow, and again, I'll keep the tabs up. Alright guys, so now we're gonna make that not so boring by adding some more flavor to this. You know, you guys eat food, well, you don't want bland food, you want some flavor, right? Same with guitar playing. So instead of playing it all the way through, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get us away from here, we're actually gonna stop after we play from the low note to the high note. So we're gonna get from here to here. And this is where I'm going to change things up a little bit. And it's going to sound like what I played in the very beginning when the video started. So I'm going to play these slow, guys. I'm not going to try to play these like fast or anything like that. This isn't like a look what I can do session. This video is solely for you to be able to learn, you know, new ways that you can spice up your lead guitar playing. So again, I'm going to go through these kind of slow, okay? So this is what I'm doing. Instead of this, you know, we're going to stop there, but instead of going back, we're going to stop at that high note and we're going to add some more notes around that area. That sounds a lot cooler than just... So here's the notes. I'm going to show you what I'm playing. So I'm going to start from the very beginning of that pattern, and I'll put the tabs up and we'll just go through that pattern real slow a couple times, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play those last few notes without the whammy bar so you guys can just get that down. So I'll put the tabs up. Just practice that over and over, and then you can start kind of adding that whammy. I mean, if you don't want to use the whammy bar, I'm just doing something just a little bit more creative, again, than the standard robotic sweep arpeggio. But if you want to add that whammy, I'm just putting a very light touch on that. So I'm kind of like starting out with the whammy down just a little before I hit that note. So it gives it that effect. It's like it's kind of coming in, right? So it's... Now I want to show you another pattern. We're going to do that same sweep pattern we just did, but I want to show you something else you can play at the end. And instead of going up higher, we're actually going to go down a little lower. Okay, so this is what it's going to sound like. I hope I remember this. I played it earlier. I'm real bad about forgetting my solos. Here we go. I'm going to speed that up just a little bit so you can kind of grasp like the flow, you know, how this is supposed to sound. And again, that's just something else you can do. So let's go through that. I'm going to play it, from start to finish there. See, that's where you would end normally, but instead of ending there, we're gonna go here. So let's play it all the way through. So now you're probably thinking, well, what about going the other way? You know, we did all this cool stuff. You know, we played from the low note to high note and did some cool stuff, but well, what about going back down? So now I want to show you a cool pattern going the opposite way. So this time we're going to start, you know, by playing, we're going to start on that high note and then go back down to the lower notes. So we're going to do this. All right, so you've got that down. Now we're gonna add the flavor part, and it's gonna sound like this. Now that's pretty much the same thing that we played down here. That's pretty cool. Now it all comes together. It's like the universe has unfolded and it's in your favor now. Now let's go through that entire pattern from start to finish. All right, so now that we've unboringfied, there's that made up word again, sweep arpeggios, I have a challenge for you, and this is what I want you to do, guys. I want you to take what you've just learned, and I want you just to play around with different notes, you know. So we kind of broke this apart. You know, you played the first sweep arpeggio pattern, you know, we kind of just cut it in half. We ended on that high note, then we added some really cool high whammy bar notes, and then we turned around and played something a little bit different after that. We had another little hammer on and pull off and did some slides and some cool stuff. But I want to challenge you to take it a step further. Play those notes that I taught you in this tutorial here, but I want you to start adding some more notes. And then maybe go through a couple of rounds of that where you don't play what I played at the end there, what you just learned, that you just kind of make up your own thing after that. Just play around with some of those notes and see where that takes you, see where that leads you. You know, the whole point of this lesson though, guys, is really to spice up your lead playing and really captivate the listener. That's the point of guitar solos. You want to capture that listener. You want to kind of like punch them in the soul. I know I use that term quite a bit, but you do. You want to hit them in the heart with your guitar solo, because when you're playing a guitar solo, the last thing you want is for it to sound robotic and bland. I mean, there's a time to play a bunch of sweep arpeggios and that's fine, but you don't want to do that all the time, because again, it just gets boring after a while. So spice it up, add some more notes to it, you know, do some of these things that I taught you today. And again, more importantly, I want you guys to add your own notes, come up with your own patterns, your own little tricks that you can do in the interim in transitioning between sweep arpeggios or transitioning from the sweep arpeggio into something else. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. I know I'm kind of blabbing on about this, but this is one of those things that really, it's important to me, and I want it to be important to you guys as well. You know, I want you to really see this as something that, you know, you can make something just extremely beautiful. You know, you're creating, it's like a artist, you know, when you are an artist, you're a guitar player, but it's like an artist who draws or paints or whatever. You've got this blank canvas, you know. You don't want just some black and white canvas. You want some color in there. So I want you to see that, you know, you can add so much more to your guitar solos rather than just learning those same, you know, boring patterns all the time. The patterns are great to practice, don't get me wrong. It's good to practice that. That's how we get better. But play around with this lesson, guys. Add some more stuff to it. I'll stop blabbing now and end the video. Guys, thank you for watching this, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if this lesson helped you. I really hope it did. And of course, until the next video, as always, keep it metal.